My name is Oladayola Nipekun, and I will be your anchor man for today's indigenous room. Apology for coming behind schedule. It's issue beyond our control. But that has maybe before I introduce my guest in the next room, let me quickly run down the topics we'll be doing justice to today. The first topic says 2023 polls, security agencies dispel postponement rumor. What? Somebody will say the die seems to be cast, and in the next 48 hours or so, we will be going to the poll to elect senators, House of Rep members, and of course the president, a new president that will take over from the current president. I'm talking of Saturday's election, general election. The secretary is saying that forget about the rumor of any postponement of the election. We are also praying that the election will not be in. Like I said, the die is cast, and so we all look forward to Saturday, the 25th for the general election. That's the first topic. The second topic says it is illegal to close universities for polls, and that is coming for not less. The first topic says, well, we are still in the era of Naira redesigning, and the topic says Naira design, customers overwhelm banks with cash demands. Well, the last few days we have been battling with that's a few months. It's been a hell taking money deposited with demands. Once again, my name is Oladayola Nipekun. When I have my guest in the studio, in the next room already, I would like to respond. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
I also have
Thank you, Dayo, for having me today as your guest.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sitting on the other side of the
yeah, this time. That statement from the chief of defense staff, General Lucky Rabo, while he was meeting the service chiefs and the IG, we are ready and good to go 48 hours to the GD. How ready?
Thank you very much for that very important question. Again and again, that to us, not only as Nigerians, but to that the chief of defense staff is making that statement shows that is responding to a particular rumor that has been gaining ground for the past 3-4 and a lot of events, even in the newsroom, we've discussed it in the past, whereby we have up to around 25 to 27 INEC offices that has been burnt in the last 1 year. INEC information that was out some days ago, where people did not register, and those places were units where election has been taking place in the past. So if you gather all those things, and a lot of...
I'm coming to you. In Kogi State, there was this explosion, just like this one just said. And the agents are saying safe, secure, a very election.
Thank you, Dayo. You see, just like my colleague has said, you see, in our democracy, election is very important in the life of Nigeria, and it's very, very germane to our democracy. But it is very unfortunate that any time that we have this kind of
exercise,
there used to be a lot of controversy, a lot of hiccups, a lot of things will be happening that you begin to doubt whether the election will hold on. A lot of killings have taken place in the past. Assassinations, political related assassinations. Then a lot, and even the conduct of the politicians during their campaigns. You see, all these things taken together, you begin to doubt whether the election will hold at all. And even apart from that, look at the Naira redesign policy. Look at the disruptions it has caused in our economic life. Then all these things, you remember, there was a time that the INEC raised the alarm that they might not have money to conduct the election. So if you think of all these things, you see, an average Nigerian will begin to think that the election is likely to be postponed or not hold. Now, if the assurance is now coming from a major stakeholder like the chief of defense staff, you see, I mean, it's bringing us a kind of relief.
Okay. A kind of relief. Says Usman, role of security agencies in a peaceful election, especially in Nigeria setting.
I think I have to make this clear. The security is just a pillar in the conduct of election. They are not the alpha and omega in the conduct of election. For instance, if the military will not get the INEC offices and all that, but even their own work will not be complete if some certain things are not made available. Let me give you an instance. If the sensitive materials of the INEC or of INEC did not get to the polling unit, what is the work of security agents? The security agencies have work to do, but their work terminates at a point whereby even if we want a peaceful conduct, it will not be the military. If this statement is coming from the mouth of the Inspector General of Police, for instance, we know, okay, are we trying to militarize our electoral process again? And we militarize almost every aspect of our lives. Now, the military is conducting special operation in at least 27 states in Nigeria out of 36. At some point, did we not need them again? If we want to conduct a peaceful election, even the police, so that people that are coming to vote will not feel intimidated and feel agitated about voting. Even if there is a security man there, it should just be a neutral person, just a uniform, so that you'll be able to identify it. So now, the rule of security is good, but the security people should know that they have a role to play, but it is the interest, cash and all that. So their role is important, but it is minimal compared to some other factors that are surrounding election.
As you speak, the major political parties, stakeholders, about that signing another peace accord. And Mr. President Muhammadu is also there, and some other former head of state, asking the major stakeholders to sign another peace accord. Should election be war in Nigeria setting?
Thank you, Dayo.
If you say it's supposed to be a game, should it be war?
Well, thank you, Dayo, for asking that question. You know, what used to frighten me about Nigerian democracy is, we have been practicing this democracy for upward of 20 years now. If at this time our accord has been signed in the recent past, as that curtail the violent nature of the politicians, the most important thing I think they should do is for the politicians themselves to imbibe the spirit of maturity in their conduct and the way they go about political activities in this country. Otherwise, what is inside them, the peace accord they are signing cannot, you see, the Bible says inside the devil within the man is inside the man. So this peace accord, who will you hold accountable should there be any problem among all these political gladiators? To me, this peace accord has not been, it has not been working as far as I'm concerned.
Before we have the final thing, you see some places being peaceful than the other, and you think
that is why, if you look at the number of places where INEC says election will not hold, that people did not even register at all, you realize that even if we were to go by statistics and break down some of these figures, we are going to realize that about roughly 15-18% of Nigerians have been cut off in this process of
just 18%.
Yes, I don't know. That figure is very huge. If you look at the figure now, about 27% of Borno State are places where nobody can put a ballot paper down and say we are going to conduct, and those places will be counted as part of Nigeria. In fact, they are going to have senator. Where Senator Ali Ndume came from, even he himself, it has been said that he has not been to his senatorial districts for the past 2-3 years. He operates from Maiduguri, the state capital, and from Abuja most of the time. So many places like that, lot of Adamawa, and many places like that. If you look at it, if you combine some of these places together, and you look at the issue of our election, I expect General Loki Rabo, the chief of defense staff, to be telling us that as the chief of defense staff, all those places that elections is not, that security situation of the country in the past did not make election to hold there. I am standing today that we've improved security there and election will hold there. That is more or less a responsible statement that will show that no, these people these people know what they are doing and what they are being paid for. The work they are giving, they are doing it. So if you look at some of these things, you see that already Nigeria is a militarized state. I said it earlier that most of the country, in the east there is operation, what do you have it? In the northeast there is operation, in Jos Plateau State there is operation everywhere. So already we are heavily militarized, and if care is not taken, if we don't try to separate the issue of the security situation in Nigeria and election, one will affect the other, and in that process, millions of people will be disenfranchised, and they will not have a say in who becomes what in the policy of Nigeria.
Otherwise, we'll leave this topic. What we leave the reaction of UK too, appealing to Nigerians to stop electoral violence.
That also calls for concern. Because, the UK government will not talk without saying anything. If UK speaks of anything about Nigeria, you can be rest assured that is what is about to happen. Remember what happened in Abuja? I think even before the Kuje attack, the Kuje prison attack, I think this kind of warning came from UK government and some other foreign governments. Eventually it happened. So if UK is now coming, to tell us that we should be careful, or is raising alarm, or is raising a kind of concern about the election that is about to take place, we have to be very, very careful. They must have seen a lot of things that we cannot see ourselves.
Usman, let me ask you about your question. That alarm, you call it an alarm by the UK, Nigerians, very careful with electoral violence?
Yes, it is not an alarm. It's just a kind of what the UK people know how we conduct our elections, and they are but they have to be careful in making some pronouncement, not to be sounding as if they are passing order down to a sovereign nation's truth. But
It seems about an appeal.
Yeah,
electoral violence in Nigeria, like an appeal.
Yeah, it's kind of like an appeal, but there are some ways they can help us if they want to help. Look at what the US is doing.
Okay.
The US is saying that if you've been fingered or through our own district investigation, that you are part of the people that are endangering the electionary process or electoral violence, we will not give you visa. If any day you need anything in US, medical care or anything, we will make sure that you don't get it. So if countries in Europe or in Americas can do that, they should do their own. Like you said, they know how to gather some of this information, some of this intelligence. Gather it. If you know people who engage in violence, this is the Eldorado that they normally run to. Even if they have edit, they run to UK. So stop them from coming to your country, so that these big men will fear. If they are not fearing us, we that they are leading upon, they will fear those people because they have properties there, they have their families there and all that. They have a lot of things in which they can, foul Jamu. I don't know how to say that in English. so it's a very good statement, and they should work. They should not just be a statement. No, they should work on it and then follow it to the head.
Your last take on that topic. Yeah. Your last take.
Okay, you see, like to me, what UK was saying, it calls for more concern. Like I said, and it was an alarm. It was in the Daily Times today that it is a kind of alarm from the UK saying that some people are planning to subvert democracy in Nigeria. Look at what we have been experiencing in the last few weeks. Does that not amount to a kind of subversion?
Yes.
It is. So if UK is now coming out to tell us, about what has been happening,
and that has not stopped.
And that has not stopped up to now. Look at what happened at Elisha. Does that not call for concern? We have to be very concerned about it. So it now behoves on the stakeholder, the major stakeholder, the political parties, even the government, the major institutions, the CBN, the INEC, all of them should collaborate and ensure the success of this coming poll. Instead of, trying to play up some things that will, make us suspect that they are planning to subvert democracy in the country.
But we just pray, we want to pray. Somebody will always say Nigeria is a country of prayer. We want to pray,
We always pray
that the election will come, that of Saturday and that of March 11, to the glory of God, will come and go peacefully. I'm coming to you because this seems to be your area. It is for polls, and that is credit to Alfred Badla, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. You recall that NUC Executive Secretary Professor Abubakar Adamu directed the closure of universities for service for that election, for the two dates March after the out of status. That kind of vision, saying it is legal to close universities.
I think we have to forgive Baba for seeing it from the angle of law.
Forgive Baba.
Yeah, you have to forgive him.
You know, you have to write the law.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for the word forgive is not that he has committed a sin by saying that, but I just use that word forgive figuratively. So you see, anytime a journalist is doing something, you do it from the angle of journalism. No, we should do it, we publicize it. A journalist will do it that way. Same way a legal person will do it from the issue of legal. But you see, there is legality, there is morality.
Okay.
Whatever you have that has legal aspect will also have a moral aspect. We are talking of safety of millions of our younger ones. Now, Baba should not look at it from the angle of legal. Whether it is legal, does it translate to safety of people's lives? If it translates to it, then we should look, even at times, even when our judges in the Supreme Court are delivering some judgments, they will say that no, some of these things are legal, but we are also looking at it from the angle of morality. A lot of judges have based their judgment on that. So what I'm saying in essence is that if you look at it technically, most of these students registered in their home states.
Okay.
The last percentage of them, if you ask them to remain open, some of them will go to unis, they will go to areas. Some of these politicians will say, see, I have a card that I can give you, take it there. And as a student, they will go there, commit, and in the process, if a student is killed or harmed or injured or anything, who will account for that? So it is better to ask these students to go to their various homes, stay there for those 2 weeks, and then the students, their parents will be accounting for them for that period of time. Baba is looking at it from the angle. If you look at Baba has a university, as a private person. In private universities, you can lock your students in their hostel and say nobody should go out. But I'm a lecturer in a polytechnic. Some of these students, you can even in the school hours, you cannot tell them what to do. Not to talk of in their various homes and hostels. So I think we should not look at it from the legal aspect. We should look at it from the moral angle. We should look at it as if we are safeguarding the lives of our students who, if left in their campuses, will be exposed to a lot of dangers because some of them registered at home. So I think we should look at it from the moral aspect.
As a parent, that fear that your word, your child is in another environment and under this political setting, just like someone said, but Baba is saying forced closure of universities by the minister has done irreparable damage to students. Your take?
Thank you, Dayo. You see, let me start from where Usman stopped. You see, I would expect Baba Babalola to be one of those voices that would be raised up to say, please look, close the university for the purpose of election. I don't expect him to now be looking at issues from the angle of legality, whether it is legal or it's not legal. If a single life is lost, no legal something could bring that back again. So it is very good for students to be under the watch of their parents during this period. If you leave the university, you don't close them up, and you allow these students to be on the campuses, it is in the campuses that the politicians that want to use them will have easy access to them. Idle hands. And you see, in their various campuses, they belong to different groups, different associations. So through that, the politician can penetrate easily. But if they are under the watch of their parents, if they are at their various homes, under the watch of their parents, I don't think any parent will open his eyes and allow any unscrupulous politician
to influence.
Yeah, to influence his word. So I don't support Afe Babalola legality.
Usman, let me by scarcity of money in banks and automated teller machines, all which make transportation back home more dangerous than ever before. End of quote.
Yes, Baba is still looking at it from the narrow side of it. You see, some of these students know how to take care of themselves.
Okay.
They know how to find a way around things.
Yes.
So students, from the way I know them as a lecturer, if you ask them to do something, just ask them, please go out from this place. The student will tell you that come back in the next 2 hours. You create a door here that will make him go away from this place. So Baba is looking at it from that angle. We know it's my 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 that will take them to their various homes. It's more precious. It's not as precious as their lives. We know students for who they are. If somebody call them and say, mobilize 100 students for me, I'll give you this. Those people will also get this. They will mobilize them. And they will go to those places. And you will realize that there will be a lot of issues around the election we want to have. But if you ask them to go on their academic activities or their academic calendar or any other thing, but the few cannot determine the fate of the majority. The few that are in private institutions, even now, it is possible that parents in private universities will tell their wards, stay in your various hostels, don't come for those 3 weeks. They will be fed. There are security arrangements in those private universities that will not make those students go out. But you want to keep a student in and you tell that student not to go outside there. No, you will go out. Not even be attending to them in those 2 weeks. Ask me how. Most of them are doing INEC jobs. So it will take them 1 week, 2 weeks before they all resume back. If you ask them to even stay, they are not going to do anything academic. They will just be roaming about. So Baba should look at the bigger picture, and all this work or all this transport money, cash and all that. Students will find their way and get to their various homes.
Okay, I want your last thing before we go to the last topic.
Okay.
I want to quote Baba. And the Education National Minimum Standard and Establishment of Institution Act of 1985. Okay. The minister like this.
I think what informed the outpouring of all this legal perspective Chief Afe Babalola is because he's a private university owner. He's an owner of a private university.
But I just quoted law.
Yes, he quoted law.
Yes.
Because you see, because he knows that this thing might affect the interest of his own institution. That is the reason why he's saying all these things he say. If he's not into that kind of venture, he will not be saying all these things. That is my view about it.
It's your last take. Before we go to
my last take on it is that Baba should be more patriotic and should not let some parochial interest to override national interest. It is in interest. What Baba is trying to say here is that the president, the minister should just say, if you like, close university. If you not like, don't close. So that the security and lives and
property design. Customers overwhelm banks with cash demands. We are seeing it.
You see, this issue of Naira redesign No, I don't know why at this point in time we will be so bedeviled with this kind of the policy that has been, seen to be satanic, sadistic. Yes, now, because look at the untold hardship that has been visited on the people in the course of this in the course of implementation of this policy. Why is it that some people will be put in position of authority and they will be behaving as if they are the lord of everybody? I begin to wonder whether it is the CBN Act that has so empowered this man to become, non-responsive to the yearnings and aspirations of the people. I have my money, I keep it with you, and now I want to use my money. It's now a problem for you to give me my money.
Usman, somebody was asking, where do you go from here? And we have asked so many things, so many. And another one says, accused CBN of mopping up trillions and was only able to print 5 billion new naira notes under the pretense of internet banking.
I think the very first problem we have in Nigeria is that we don't have sincere leaders. We worship, from the first day that the head of an important institution like CBN will come out to want to contest